What's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Dirt Surfers. I am here with my co-host.
Hello, Mark Martinez.
Mark Martinez, two in common. Just to let you guys know, I'm a little off right now because we started recording and Mark looked over at the podcast, at the Roadster, and it was not recording. We were about an hour in.
Mm-hmm.
So if this episode is shit, I'm sorry, guys. We did cover a lot of cool stuff. So we're going to have, I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to have to try to go back and revisit all those things. But this happens, this is all part of the podcasting experience, living and learning. Okay, so today we're going to talk about hashtag keep going, Mark. We got to keep going. We're going to talk about our creative business ventures that we've gone through in the past. What did we say, 12 years?
14.
14 years?
Well, actually, together, I would say maybe about 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
That we started.
I started messing around with stuff, but I was, making mistakes.
So throughout all these 10 years, there's been multiple chapters we've gone through.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna name them just so that people can know what we went through. It was Knuckle. We did Proper. We did Rad Division, Miho, and now Desert People Productions. So let's go into Knuckle. So Knuckle started in 2009.
No, officially it started in 2006.
2006.
2006, 2007, and then closed.
Talk about it all over again. Here we go.
Yeah, first location on Mesa, next to Pizza 101.
Next to Pizza 101.
By Moorhead.
That was the Indian. No, it was Indian grocery store.
No, that was next to Pizza 101. That location first.
You hear this? I'm sure you could hear the sirens. Man, it's crazy when you start doing things and you feel comfortable, and then out of nowhere, like.
That's right. The whole thing about this is keep going.
Hey, you're right.
That's all right. Just shake it off.
So okay, I started helping you out. Not so much with the skate shop. It was more like the creative stuff, and we started, printing the T-shirts, for the team because you had people sponsored.
Yeah. So I'll give like a quick summary. That way we don't.
Quick summary.
So, had the skate shop after school. Bought everything from Skate City when they closed down.
That's right.
And then when I started doing the skate shop, I would, interact with different people that could help me get to get the shop the way I wanted it to.
Wait, what do you mean interact with people? So you had the mini ramp in the first location.
So I had the mini ramp.
You had the mini ramp.
But when I had the mini ramp, and I'm thinking back, you helped me with
Dude, that's when I was tagging a lot.
Yeah, and I made the stencils. Remember?
Oh, that's right, because Jesse had passed away. That's right.
And then we started getting into the wheat pasting.
Dude, I was going balls to the wall and graffiti.
Yeah. So, and then I'd always had an interest in it, but I never really.
Yeah, you weren't out with this at nighttime spray painting.
No, I was skating all the time.
Can we talk about that though?
Yeah.
Because okay. So there was a time that me and you went spray painting,
tagging,
and I hate saying tagging. I don't know why I don't like that word.
Spray painting.
I think because when the judge, after I went to you can call it whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
Well, no, because that tagging's like.
I think there's different forms of graffiti.
I'm like breakdancing on a cardboard on the floor. On the cardboard on the floor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Toys.
Well, that's see. Anyways, but graffiti has always been big here in El Paso. Anyways, what was my point to all this? Oh yeah, the judge was like, "You're beautifying my city," because I got caught. And I was 16, but at that time, I was helping you out a lot.
Yeah, because that's kind of how we started hanging out, because I was always making graphics and stuff on Photoshop.
Yeah.
But then you were like.
Yeah, no, I was heavy on the graffiti, and I was like, "Come with me, let's go." Yeah. And I needed somebody. I was like,
well, like when Jesse passed away.
Yeah.
I made a stencil.
I made
I made the graphic, and you cut out the stencil.
Yeah.
You made the stencil.
Yeah, it was
like
a negative.
The physical one. I just made the.
That's right.
The graphic.
I stenciled everything.
And then at the same time, I had just opened the shop, so we printed out a shitload of these knuckle flyers.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and you made the wheat paste.
You're right.
Yeah. See, that's good. We didn't because we didn't even touch on that.
Yeah, I didn't even touch on that. That's when the wheat pasting started.
Yeah.
But I remember those were the first shirts because when Passy just away.
Oh yeah.
When Jesse passed away,
we spray painted.
So dyslexic. We spray painted those shirts, and everyone remember they were in screen print. Everyone's like, "Oh, we love these shirts, but they stink." It was just Hanes like V-necks.
Yeah, like a packet shirts.
Oh, Miss Tyra loved that stuff. I remember, man. That's how it really started. That's how the T-shirts really started because I didn't screen print. It would be cool to bring back that design and maybe just do like a
like brush it up
tribute.
Because I used that picture of from a still from when I was filming the Skate City video.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So you just paused the screen
and I just
screenshotted it.
Yeah.
And then inverted it, made it black and white. And that's what that stencil was?
Yeah.
That's sick, dude. Okay, so anyways, going back to what we were talking about. So that was Knuckle, and that's when we started hanging out. But anyways, you ditched me, man. So, and this is just so, I'm going to throw it out there.
No, go ahead.
So I'm over here tagging, and you need to have a lookout. You need to have somebody that is like. What? I thought you were gonna come with me to spray people, but you were feeling nervous. Anyways, I looked back and you took off. I remember I was like about to jump in the car, and you just go down the street, and I'm like, "What the hell, Mark?" You come back, you're like, "Dude, there's like two cops, 3 cops." But that's when I realized like this is a legal activity, man. Like this isn't for everybody. First of all, like if you get caught, you're screwed. But I kind of put you on the spot, so I'm sorry about that.
No. I mean that totally happened.
You left me.
I did.
Nah, it's all good though. I forget.
No, well,
were you genuinely scared?
Well, it just when that happened, I guess we went out.
It was late, dude.
Yeah, that was like one of the last things we did because you had already gone and done the library.
Shh. No, I'm playing. You can talk.
Statute of limitations. It's been like 12 years.
Has it really?
Yeah.
No, but I was good, man. I would wear gloves.
You did the library. You put all those.
Dude, that wheat paste.
It was Jimmy, wasn't it? A picture of Jimmy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, I did like 3 or 4 park or bus benches. Yeah. What was the design?
It said had Jimmy on it, and then it said like I forgot what it said.
Yeah. Anyways.
It said Knuckle like I thought.
Yeah.
And then actually was that I think it might have been. I don't know if it was the same night or 2 separate nights. Because I think when you went...
It was that same night. Because you were my lookout.
So then we went and then...
it's when I brought out the spray paint that you got, like...
Yeah, because
really
you did the cans. You got the cans and then you did that light box.
Yeah.
And then we went down to... We went on Belvedere.
It was on Belvedere. Belvedere boys.
And you were going to do those benches. I think you did one. Then I got down.
Yeah, I think you were going to try one.
And then when I got down... There was a cop.
There was
a cop, and it drove by, and then like, I just got a flash of, I had the skate shop open, and I just was thinking like, fuck, if I go to jail, like, the shop's not gonna open. All these things went through my head, and I went to the car, and I didn't even notice you. I didn't, and then you called me, and you were like, dude, you left me. I didn't even think. I just went to the car.
Tunnel vision, bro. You were scared. Yeah. I know. I remember.
And it's weird because it wasn't so much about the can. It was just at the time.
You had responsibilities.
Yeah, it was weird because I remember thinking that like about that afterwards. I'm like, dude, what the hell happened? And then because like skating, we were jumping fences and like cutting locks and.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean like back then. So I didn't. I mean, not just me. It was like our friend group. Yeah. It was like a bunch of us.
Yeah. Skateboarding was a crime.
Yeah, so we got used to it, but I don't know why when that happened.
It's a different thing, man.
I don't know.
Hey, man.
That's what happened.
Anyways.
I just ran off.
It's cool, man. It's all good. It's all good. But anyways, going back to what we were talking about. Yeah, that's when we started dabbling with the T-shirts. So it was actually, now thinking back on all this.
Yeah. I mean,
Jesse's passing away. Like.
Yeah, I had done the iron-ons.
I
had done the iron-ons in high school and stuff, and I knew about screen printing, but it was just something that I didn't like try yet or evolve yet.
Yeah, so Knuckle had a team. Knuckle had like you started the merch. You had printed some other ones through someone else. Was that through Larry?
No,
remember
I did the one that said Knuckles.
Oh man, there's a typo on that.
Yeah, that one Larry printed those for me, and then I had done some other at this other.
Dude, Knuckle was a shit.
And then, but I think with the screen printing back then, there wasn't a whole lot of like you had to buy like a whole kit, like a whole like press.
Well, unless you were like so there was like commercial printing, and then there was like the kits at Hobby Lobby.
They didn't have those yet.
They didn't even have those.
No, they didn't have those yet.
Really?
They had like those little screens, but that's why I got one, or Sandy got me one because
it was a gift.
It was like a new thing at that time.
Damn.
Like the little kit with like the whole thing.
The speedball kit?
Yeah, like they had the screens.
Yeah.
But they didn't have.
They didn't have the kit. They didn't have everything, and then they didn't have like the explanation or like the fundamentals of screen printing. Because I remember it was like it touched on the history.
Yeah, because it was a whole little.
You're right.
Set, and they didn't have that. You had to go all separate, and that's.
Shout out to Speedball.
Yeah, and then.
So that's when I started screen printing because I used that kit to make the knuckle shirts.
Yeah, so that was after I had the first 2 locations
with the typo.
Yeah, I moved to that place with the Indian grocery, and then I closed down there because I tried to go to EPCC for school a little bit, and then I reopened over in Santa Teresa, and that's when you.
That's right. Well, I started working there. I remember.
I started working there.
Was Zane on the team? Shout out to Zane for supporting us.
So on the first go around, we had all the guys like from Skate City, and then like transferred over like Adrian and like Spencer, and
that's when
and then I added like Willis and Josh Dowdy.
That's right.
And Kevin and Andrew and Frank. Well, Frank was on Skate City, but that whole like all those West Side kids.
Adrian was on Skate City also, right?
Yeah, and then I got like Carlos Villa and
so all the team. Right? Well, that's when I started really screen printing, and we were doing some.
And then when we moved to that location by Santa Teresa, that's when we got like Zane.
Yeah,
then we
Baby Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I thought we added somebody else, but no, and then we tried doing the Marnies. Remember we had those little contests?
My God,
we printed on the boards back then.
Damn, we were.
Yeah. So and then.
Damn, Jesus.
Yeah, and that one back then we just had a little press, not even a press.
We didn't even have a press. We were just holding the
screen, and then
hey, come over here and hold the screen.
You hold it, and then
you squeegee
with like the little inks they give you in the kit, and dry it in the sun, or use that, space
the
ray
space
gun thing.
Where did you get this? Was your dad's or something? No.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
It's a space heater, it's just to make it run.
He had it, and so it worked.
But it helped because that speedball kit, it wasn't plastisol. See, we were already printing
water-based.
It was a water-based inks.
Yeah.
Which is extremely hard to use, but now looking back at it, like it was in our favor.
Yeah.
So that's when the printing started happening, and then, we went into printing for other people. That's when we were talking about how.
Well, first, I moved to Donovan, and then my skate shop was broken into, and I had my camera equipment. And that at the time,
I was
writing scripts.
You invested into a sick setup. I remember.
Yeah, because at the time there was no DSLR cameras.
That's right.
And I didn't want to buy a film camera.
Yeah.
Because I was seeing how they were saying digital's the way to go, and you could buy these converters that would transform. Like if you had a DVX 100B camera could shoot 24 frames, which is like film, the film look. And you bought this little adapter, and you could add a lens to it, so you could get like that depth of field.
So you had the DVX linked up to that adapter?
I did, and it was a huge. That's why I had that big box thing.
Yeah, I do remember that.
It would flip the image.
Oh yeah.
Had the rails, and it would connect it.
You filmed that Josh Spencer intro. That's why it looked like that.
Yeah, because it was like
that was
like
dope.
Film. Yeah. And I was ready. I was gonna write a script for like my first like shorts and feature, because I wanted by like the certain like 23 to shoot my first feature. And then they broke into the skate shop.
Took everything.
And they took everything. I had just got a new computer. I had like filmed a wedding.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I filmed a wedding, and I had all the footage on there. They took all these boards I had from, like Zoo York gave me a board from
when the team riders would come through. You're right.
And
all
Creature,
the sign boards.
And then I had some my own graphic, that high-low graphic that I had with the TV.
About those freaking boards.
And then like David De La Cruz gave me a board with like the drunk turtle.
Hey man, all these fucking thieves out there, get a life.
Yeah. So they took all my shit. So then I just decided I was like, fuck everything.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So then I went to EPCC, and then I went to UTEP for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then I fucking hated it. And then they gave me
I'm right there with you in that.
yeah,
boat.
they gave me a financial aid check so I could buy.
Do you
stuff.
remember how much the financial aid check?
I think
like
it was
2 G's.
It was like $1,500.
Okay.
So then I used it for my. I found that spot on Mesa,
So you dropped down a deposit.
and the first month and last month's rent.
Sick.
So, because it was only like.
Shout out to
$600
EPCC UTEP.
And the guy was cool, Maluli, the landlord.
The landlord.
Yeah. So then that's when I asked you to.
That's right.
Come and help. I was like, look, I got it up again.
Yeah.
Came back, and then
I'm so glad
we
you
had
you
more.
decided to
We
do
had
it.
more room there, and we
Yeah.
had. My dad had bought that
The 4-layer?
the 4-layer press
That's right.
because these people, they were gonna start like a UFC or like Affliction style brand.
Oh man, I forgot when all of that dropped.
Yeah.
Those shirts were
Yeah, like
hot garbage.
foil print type stuff, and then the guys, they had the equipment for like a year,
Yeah.
and they sold it for like $500.
Super cheap.
Super cheap,
But
that-
with everything,
the whole
it had,
kit.
it had the plastisol inks.
Yeah, I had the squeegee.
The
I had the
squeegees.
press. The whole
Yeah,
thing
I
at
do
that
remember
time
that.
was like $1,200 or $1,300.
Yeah, yeah. That's
they were
already
just-
like a entry level like for commercial printing.
Yeah. So we had that press, and then that's when we were just doing little gigs, and I don't even know how. I
Trying
think
to
you were like, "Oh,
remember.
I know somebody," and we did the pizza
What?
joint.
Oh yeah, you're talking about like actually taking orders.
Yeah,
We weren't supposed to be taking orders. Though,
yeah.
man. That
We
was,
were just
we did what we
experimenting.
did though.
Yeah, we told the people next door to the skate shop.
No, that
It
guy
was-
came in. He came in. He was like, "Oh, what do you guys do
yeah,
here?"
yeah.
Remember the
Oh, yeah,
waiter? The
yeah.
waiter was like, "Hey man, you guys print shirts?" And I was
Yeah,
like,
he used to hang out there. the
"Yeah."
waiter,
He liked it.
Yeah,
He
he
came
did.
by, which it was hard because usually skate shops they always hated you being there. I remember remember?
Yeah. At the first Knuckle location, we had a Christian bookstore, and the lady would come in every day and tell me about the kids doing this and that, and she hated me.
Yeah, she did hate you.
She's always complaining to the landlord and the Gil Maluli. You call me, like, hey man, what's up with this lady? She's always up my ass. What's going on? What are you guys doing?
That's hilarious, dude.
I'm like, I don't know, dude. We're just there.
Just
We're
hanging
skating.
out.
We sit in the front. She doesn't like it.
Yeah, no, I do remember that. I mean, that was the cool one that I had talked to you about. I was asking you about the mini ramp there because that mini ramp was like a death trap. What were the events though? I remember there was a couple of events that you had that it made it like a full house. But I remember that's why people started coming through because even random people would start coming in shopping for their kids and stuff, which was weird to me because like for a while it was just us like the friends, but then it really got popular.
Well, for one thing was I'm a big fan of hip hop.
Hell
So
yeah.
there was these local guys here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was like
Not Zine. What the heck was his name? Wait.
yeah, Zyme 1.
Is it Zyme 1? I got it?
Zyme 1, and then
Gideon's brother.
yeah, Gideon's brother.
What was his
Promise.
name? Promise, man.
Promise. And then there was another dude, Hexagon.
Damn, these names are
Hexagon, and then there was some other dudes. And then they just
Pentagon.
they came and performed on the ramp. It was
Wait, that was
sick.
the stage?
Yeah, it was a stage. And
Yo, that's bad.
I so we had that event, and then we had like the switch ollie, high ollie contest.
Man, Knuckle was the
So-
shit. Those were the
So
days.
we had those little things like that.
but the t-shirt, I mean, that's where I
yeah.
started getting involved.
So at that location, we
we
that-
did an order for pizza joint, and then I remember we did. You had met Mark Duchesne.
yeah, I met this dude through because I started shooting. They had started some local magazine. A friend of mine, Farzad, is friends with Sandy, and I wanted to get better at video.
Whoa.
And so I was like, hey, can I shoot video for you guys' magazine?
That's dope.
And so I went and filmed like this bachelor like style contest with like guys here.
Really?
Yeah, well, like that's how I met Nick from the gym. He was like one of the bachelors.
Quintelas?
Yeah. Can tell.
Really?
Yeah.
Shout out to Nick.
Yeah, Nick. I'm sorry, I like brain farted with the last name, but So I met them, and then Duchesne, his now wife, she was part of the magazine. So then we had like so I was part of the magazine shooting video. So then
that was our first big order.
He told me he had a gym, and I was like, hey man, if you ever want some, I was like, cheap shirts, I bet I can do it way better. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I can get all these nice shirts. And I showed him the shirt.
That's when. Okay, so touching on that,
he came by.
We were offering those tri-blends.
The tri-blends. That's when the Toltex tri-blend came up. And they were like,
man,
$2 or
were they
$3.
really?
Yeah, compared to.
Are you sure it was Toltex? Are you sure it was an American?
What? No, because American Apparel was like still like $7 or $6.
So the Toltex came out, and that was like the imitation American Apparel.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, like we got to get those tees.
I do remember that.
So then we did. Like,
you said yes to a 4-color job.
No, that one we did like the first one. It said like "muévete," and it was like just a black.
Oh,
shirt
dude, you remember that shit? Yeah, I do remember that.
And then we did the they had a contest or something.
That's
it was
the
like
one.
Blue and green one.
Oh my god, that was hell, man. He's all, hey, why are all the horns all different? And I was like,
because at the time we didn't know how to register the screens.
We didn't have a registration system.
So
on that press.
So we just printed all the graphics, and we're like, hopefully it'll line up.
Yeah, no, shout out to Mark Duchesne. That gave us the
like,
confidence
it's fine.
Yeah. But for the setup we had, they were good.
Yeah, and
these were competition shirts, right? I remember because that's when CrossFit was like popping.
Yeah, that's what helped proper, because it was Knuckle, and then I ended up using half of the other shop as proper.
That's right.
Print area. And
that's weird that location was already like partitioned like that, huh?
Well, it was a barber shop before, so it had like that little section. So I was like, oh, cool, we can have.
You know what? All the locations that we've ever fucked with are always kind of in one way or another like catered to what we're doing.
Yeah, no, it worked, man. It was a cool
Hell
spot.
Yeah, because you got to keep going, man. You got to keep going.
And then that was around the time that CrossFit started to come up, would be more popular.
Yeah.
And we just happened to be the people at the time that were able to get those tees and print.
You're right.
Because, I know other people were doing stuff there, but they weren't.
Yeah, there was tons of print shops, but they weren't offering what we were offering. But also the product knowledge that we had comes from skateboarding, because dude, some of my favorite shirts were all 100% cotton. Mm-hmm. But then I remember Volcom started dropping like really nice shirts.
Yeah,
right?
The artist series.
Yeah, the artist series. And I remember we both fucked with that because exactly that. They were like blended shirts or like 50-50s or whatever, but they were super nice shirts. Mm-hmm. But then skaters started like wearing nicer, T-shirts.
Yeah.
Your nipples aren't bleeding anymore. Yeah. That's never even fucking happened to me. I don't know. Like, I think that's like a runner thing or something. I don't think. Because then all the skaters would be having like. No. I never saw no bleeding nipples at no park or nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
but you know what I'm talking about? Like performance.
We used to do the 2-shirt back then, though. So
the 2 shirts. You did that? I did do the 2 shirts. Did. Yeah, what the fuck? Dude, what the hell are we thinking?
The white shirt underneath.
What, dude?
Like it was 1950.
You're right, dude. Because, it was like a wife beater. And then dude, you're right. You don't wear undershirts anymore? What happened to that?
No, I don't wear undershirts.
That was the word? Hell no.
Hell no.
Because it's like the working class or what? That's like the...
I don't know, man.
It was our brassiers?
I think that's
is
what
that
it was.
the...
I didn't think of it. I didn't think it was like...
So the white T-shirt was just invented to cover up your nipples so that you're not showing...
Or you don't like get you don't get like your regular shirt all stinky or stained.
We need to look into the history of the white
I just wore it, to be honest with you, because I was skinny. And if I had some gigantic T-shirt, my neck looked even skinnier.
All right, anyways, going back to what we were talking about. Yeah, so the blended tee dropped. The Toltex dropped. We offered that. And we did. I remember business started to like, just for the T-shirt, side of things, started getting a little busier than the actual skate shop.
Yeah, and it was easier to pay my rent on the shop.
That's right.
Because it was like $600, and then...
So you came up with proper, and I remember that conversation. It was the proper way of printing a T-shirt, even though we were half-ass guessing.
Yeah, well, because the name always stuck out to me because...
Proper?
Because when one of the Skate City experiences I had where we had dinner with New Deal, and it was like Rob Gonzalez and Chad Barty.
Wait, you had dinner with these guys?
Yeah, with Skate City.
Is that when he fucking blunted Zach White?
Yeah, the back nose blunt. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't stay that night because it was like a school night.
What,
but
dude?
I was, yeah, but it was like the
Yo, I'm
7-year
glad
glitch.
that so glad that the first podcast didn't. So, anyways, no, I'm not. Anyways, keep going.
And
So
and Raymond Molinar, he was like,
what, dude? Who brought them down?
Skate City. They used to have demos all the time. But Danny would do this thing where either he would like have a party with them or he would go out to dinner with them. And we went
dope.
to that restaurant right here by Carlos and Mickey's. We went to Carlos and Mickey's.
Nice.
And then Rob Gonzalez got a margarita.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, "Oh shit, that's proper." And I never heard anybody say that before. I was like, "Damn, that sounds so cool." Like I never heard that word
slang,
before.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, he took pictures of the."
That shit's sick.
Carlos and Mickey's, they would give out the big margaritas.
Yeah, I think they still do.
So Rob G, that's where I got the name proper.
That's sick, dude.
So then
I'll never forget that blunt, dude, or that nose
the
blunt.
back nose blunt.
That
yeah.
shit's
That's
fucking
Zach
insane.
White. That photo's sick.
That photo's so sick.
And then so then, anyways, that name
Stuck to you, and then
Yeah,
you were
'cause
like,
then
I'm
it was
gonna use it.
I was like, proper print shop. It sounds like
It does
a
sound
really
cool.
easy-
PP.
Yeah, like an easy thing to say. And then that's when, during that time, we would, you were friends with JJ and Steven.
Yeah, JJ or Steven actually had reached out, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are printing. We
And
have a little thing going
I
too."
remember he would, when we had trouble, we went over and he showed us.
Yeah, we helped him out more. But you know what?
Oh, he showed us how.
I remember him coming. Oh,
Remember when we first started learning, we went to his apartment and he showed us
shit!
it was like HKD or printing. Remember?
Oh, I'm thinking of the shed.
HK.
It's because so what printing is, when it comes to printing, like wherever you're setting up, you're gonna learn a certain way to print due to your environment.
Yeah.
We were always printing in a retail spot.
Yeah.
Other people were setting up in like
A
sheds
yeah.
or warehouses or whatever. So it's just different troubleshooting. But that, you definitely learn things that you wouldn't in a different setup. But yeah, I do remember that, and it came together. But yeah, they had their press like on a balcony or something,
Yeah.
right?
It was HK printing.
Yeah, something like that.
And I'd always ask like what it stood for, and he's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, okay. It doesn't help me.
So anyways, proper was popping. PP.
So then, JJ,
was going.
we knew of them, and then they would eat at the restaurant next door to us, which was Faras,
Yes.
Mediterranean restaurant, which we
Mediterranean.
had already done shirts for.
I don't think it's there anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if it's there, but then
What was the one in front? Singapore Cafe.
Singapore Cafe, yeah.
Okay.
And then JJ and Steven came in, and then they were like, I guess they want to combine, like they were better printers than us.
Yeah,
at
no,
that
I
time.
do remember Steven.
But we had, or the shop had more of a, I had the experience of doing retail and like the physical.
Well, we were also putting ourselves out there as far as like
so it was going to be like a fusion.
Yeah.
Of these two ideals.
Yeah.
So, and then
it worked. I mean, Proper is still, running and operating, and they're doing great. Shout out to Proper Printshop.
Yeah.
And then that turned into, okay, so we started printing, and that's where it really started. Like we started commercially printing.
Yeah. So then that's when we did like Neon Desert.
So how long were we at? Oh, now I know what the hell you're talking about. Because those racks were built, and then the merch was printed for Proper.
And there was the Budos vintage.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about all that stuff.
Yeah. So then we did have a good run there.
And then that location moved to Paisano, and that's where the big production started happening. The vintage, you're talking about the Amanda's and Stevens.
Yeah. And they were and before they were thrifting.
Those are the true thrifters right there.
Yeah, they had all that stuff way back when.
Yeah, you're right.
That was like 2012.
In Paisano. This was at Paisano. Oh, in the front. Oh my God, I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we were talking about that at Proper Printshop on Paisano. There was bands playing, and that's when you started kind of also diving into the
music
videos and providing your services to local people, bars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What was the first event that you had? Do you remember what was the first video that you offer, video services that you offer? What was it that you got? That wasn't, and I'm not talking like during that time, like ever.
Ever?
Yeah. Where you're like, okay, I need to film this.
What did I do?
I don't think you didn't do a quinceañera or anything like that, did you? Did you ever do those?
I filmed a wedding.
Nah, but you didn't.
I mean, the first thing I did, which was
like for someone else that had nothing to do with skateboarding or.
Yeah, it was that wedding, I think. No.
Because now that I think about it, like you started doing the events and all that other stuff, and it didn't seem that hard for you. Like you weren't tripping on any of that stuff. And to me, I was like, God, dude, this is too much.
Honestly, I can't remember. I'd have to think about it, but I feel like, I can't remember. I feel like it was just.
It's okay.
I can't remember. I think honestly, I think I filmed some clips of somebody on their motorcycle.
Was it Fletcher?
I don't think it was Fletcher. I did film him, but that was later on. But I filmed somebody with my VX. And I don't know what it was. I can't remember. But it was like nothing. It was like I gave him clips.
That's crazy, dude. So, okay, you were using because DSLRs, you had to have been using the VX, no?
Before that, yeah. I started out on the VX, and I had just done I'd done a wedding. No.
That's crazy that you don't remember your first.
I have to think about that.
Okay, well, anyways, through Proper, after we parted ways for whatever reason, Rad Division was born. I think Rad Division is my favorite because it was a group of, artists and creatives, but we bridged California and El Paso at that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had friends that were going to film school over there, and we dropped a couple of designs, Rad Division, and you reminded me we had Rad Division merch at Montecillo.
Yeah, High Point,
which I totally freaking forgot, man. It was high end, wasn't it? Like that stuff was kind of expensive. It was more.
Yeah, it was like
when streetwear really started popping.
Yeah, it was like Herschel bags and he even had Huff stuff.
Damn, he did have Huff.
Yeah.
He had them socks.
Yeah, and then they had sneakers.
Yeah, I do remember that. And he gave us a chance to have our shirts there, right? The Rad Division tees.
Yeah,
they were doing pretty good. We had the Mexican American there and the Thunderbolt. No?
And then the like Nike one.
Yeah, that's right. And Rad Division, we were talking about how that kind of hit a wall after our homie Gil went out to. Was it Agenda? Or what did you say it was?
Yeah, so Rad Division was basically with Proper. I think it was just something at the time that myself and Ferny, we had made decisions to leave, and we wanted to focus on our skill set and work with our friends.
Yeah.
And at the time, we all kind of did a little bit of different things. So then that was the whole idea with Rad Division, was to like promote and like support one another.
Yeah, and we were. I mean,
and so the Thunderbolt, I wanted to see the Rad Division was supposed to be like research and development.
Yeah.
Division, so we'd be experimenting.
Yeah.
And that's
you were doing the experimental stuff with Aubrey. I remember you were doing those music videos and stuff.
I started doing the music videos at that time with Aubrey, and then doing stuff like that, and then doing just little shorts like skits. And then that's when I started doing like businesses for. I had done one or two like party videos when I had Proper for Octavio. It was like a Sunday session or something.
Oh yeah.
And then I did like a DJ thing for Proper, and then I did a brunch video.
The brunch video, that's where it really started getting busy, because I remember that's when Rad Division. You actually had work.
Yeah.
In the video department.
Yeah, and then while I was doing that, Gil and them were out going to school, and like the bolt was supposed to represent like inspiration or like when ideas hit you.
I really can't believe that.
So I just used the bolt, like any bolt, like the most simplest bolt I could use. You know what I mean? Like it was like clip art, And I reshaped it and I made it a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because it was like a fatter one.
Yeah.
I made a bunch of shirts. We made a bunch of shirts.
Yeah.
We gave it to our friends.
Yeah, but we gave them out.
We could,
that was the marketing
you're like
aspect.
A team. Yeah, and then have like our team, and we'd like support each other and share our own stuff. And then Gil, he was out in California.
Shout out to Gil.
And he had his starting his brand SLF.
That's when he had started. Oh, so that's why he was out there at the show.
Yeah, so he was like getting a feel for like the branding.
Yeah,
those things that they do. So then he was wearing the Bolt shirt, and this guy stopped him and was like, "Hey man, like what shirt is that?"
Yeah.
And then basically Gil just told him like the information, I guess.
Like exactly to the T. So Ferny Gonzalez and Mark Martinez over in El Paso, Texas, 79912.
Gil called me.
Nah, he was hyped because I remember at that time
we had. Oh, dude, I don't know what to do, man. Like,
he felt bad.
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck, I'm
glad he was honest.
He wanted to know about what was going on with our shirt.
Well, we didn't know. I didn't know.
No, I didn't. Fuck. I didn't surf.
But that's a legit surf brand.
Yeah, it was Lightning.
Okay, can you? And I hate to interrupt, and I do this a lot. But can you take me back to those brands? Because there was core surf brands that I'm sure you wore or that you knew of, and Thunderbolt USA was one of them. But there was one called like OPC or OP.
Ocean Pacific.
Oh, is it Ocean Pacific? There was like 3 or 4 of them. But to think that.
Well, it was like a legit surf board brand.
It still like is.
Yeah, still is, and it wasn't like. And then
no, his clothing was merch for the surfboards.
It wasn't like
and
Ocean Pacific wasn't like a surf.
And the surfboards have the Thunderbolt from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Like,
so that guy called me, left me like all these voicemails.
So you were ignoring him for a little bit?
I did, and then we ended up. I think we talked for a second, and then he was just like, "Well, what are we gonna do about this?"
Yeah.
You know, what's the thing with your brand? Because I own all trademarks on Lightning bolts.
That is insane that you can do that.
And I didn't know if I believed him 100%, but I wasn't willing to go back and forth with this guy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude.
Well, he was threatened, man.
I'm like,
I don't think he was threatened. I think that's what you do, right?
Yeah, no, you would. I mean, I do the same thing, but I just think at the time I was like, am I really gonna
fight
put
this
all this
or
shit
like
on the line for this?
We're going to court.
Yeah, I'm like, no. I mean, it wasn't. That was not the point of the shirt.
No.
The bolt was only just like, it wasn't the logo. It was like kind of part of it.
No, but it did kind of tarnish things.
Yeah.
It was just like something you had to deal with that. It wasn't even.
Yeah, it was a headache. And then.
Dude, we printed a lot of those shirts.
Yeah. And then we had made.
We didn't make stickers.
But it was like in all our videos.
Yeah, Willie drew, like painted it on the wall. Yeah. Like, come on.
So.
It was a staple for us, but then it went away. Anyways.
And at the same time, we were doing like different commercial like projects for people here locally.
Yeah, I remember we did some stuff for man, I might be saying this wrong, but is it Steve O's Burgers or Steve?
Yeah, we had done Stevie.
See, and
Steve O's.
Yeah, it's Steve O's, right? It's not Stevie O's. Hey, Stevie O's. Shout out to Stevie O's Burgers. Yeah, we did some T-shirts, and that was the cool thing. Rad Division, like it was a platform. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was a platform for all of us to kind of get work in.
Yeah.
And still feel like, we're professionals at this because these are big businesses, man, that we were handling.
Yeah.
Well, and then Willie he was offering his his painting.
Yeah. Octavio, that's when Octavio.
So it was a studio. Rad Division.
Yeah, it was an art
studio.
Yeah, we all kind of had like different skill set.
Very good chapter in our.
We added like Chino to go and film stuff.
Yeah, we had the interns.
Started doing the Trap Thursdays.
Man, Chino that's where his filming started, man.
Yeah.
Now he's out there still filming. Shout out to Chino and all the interns. But we had a couple I remember you would send out because it started becoming work. You can't be out filming all those things, have to edit, and then deliver it. And then I had T-shirts. Mm-hmm. So it was work. Red Division was a cool chapter.
Yeah.
And that was 2014. After Rad Division, because I mean, you had taken off. Everyone's legs. 1,000 grams came out of Rad Division.
Yeah. And then Miho, we did have Miho, which was like the backup print shop.
Yeah.
Just in case all the.
Well, also, how do you talk about if somebody asks for T-shirts, right? You're not Ferny's printing, what the hell are we gonna?
Yeah. So the idea with Miho was to be like. Stupid. Like I said, Ramirez printing, to make it friendly enough to where.
Yeah, but everybody calls you that when you walk into a restaurant.
Yeah. Mijo. And then I used the I wanted the guy to look like the big boy guy, like offering the hot dog.
Is that what that was?
The hamburger. But I made him look like a Mexican guy, but with a squeegee.
Dude.
With the apron. And Willie, I drew like a rough sketch, and Willie really...
He vectorized it.
But he like softened it and made it look more...
That's right. Now, okay, I could see that now.
But like you said, I was kind of torn between like...
What?
Working here and like...
Going to California, but that's... Yeah,
because I was getting, at the same time, I was getting work from California here. Which like they hired me out here from companies in California.
Yeah.
And that's why I did like that.
But that was the jump. Oh, okay.
Like that Walmart thing, and then these other companies. It was like a roofing company and some other stuff.
That's when we started really realizing that there is no market in El Paso, or there's not even like, you can't even get lights to film a commercial here in El Paso, right?
It was hard, and I think that was just kind of like beating us up. Like more like our stamina, to withstand just pursuing creative things here. It was just like, it's hard, It's
like so hard
to do that. And then
but you did it. I remember you put a team together, you found the lights, you started meeting people that were actually doing, wasn't it like a ghost hunter, or it was, I remember you were trying to...
Well, that was recent.
No, was it?
Yeah.
That you met the
ghost hunter?
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm like...
No, it's okay.
This is back in 2015. But anyways, I remember so Walmart had filmed something, and then they were looking for stuff. They had contacted you somehow, or they found your...
through Vimeo.
Damn.
And then because of that, I got a couple of more
gigs after that.
Yeah, from here.
It was a cool snowball effect.
Yeah, it was called... What was the name of that place? I can't remember. But they were they were like a one-stop shop, like online.
Yeah.
And they would hire local filmmakers to do it. So they would send me like a whole kit, and I would just film the businesses here.
That's sick.
So a couple people in El Paso had done it. It was like a template website thing, and I would shoot the video, and, and they would edit everything.
So it's raw. You just send it out, and that was it.
But after that, I kind of was like...
But what the hell? Like,
well, I felt like the checks were better, I did like for like half a day or something.
Oh, damn, that's right.
Or like a day. I was like, oh man, these...
Well, I mean, you're shooting for Walmart. You're putting together something for Walmart, right?
Yeah. Well, not just that place, but the other place. I mean, because Walmart was just the one thing, but I think it was just kind of happening, and then that's why I was like, well, let me see what it's like in California.
And then you bounced, but we still kept going with
Miho.
With Miho, yeah, I do remember checking up with you. That was communication never stopped. But yeah, but then after that, after Miho,
and things kind of went kind of wonky.
Well, not wonky, but everyone found themselves. I feel like under the roof, we all
looking
found. Yeah. I mean, look, you're still pursuing video. 1,000 grams, like everything that was under the roof of Rad Division, is still going on, right?
Yeah.
So. That's why I do feel it is my favorite, but also that shirt that we dropped, the Mexican American shirt.
Yeah.
That's when I really felt like, okay, I'm about this. Like, I'm gonna own this, and I'm gonna double down on my creative side.
Well, the whole thing with that was we were really tapping into our creativity. We were like experimenting with all sorts of random things, like like videos and like prints and like. Yeah.
Well, dude, I've been photoshopping since I remember getting the first copy of Photoshop. My dad got it pirated, and it locked the computer, and we couldn't like use the computer unless you had the registration code. Yeah. So he was forced to buy Photoshop, and then that's when I started photoshopping. But yeah, we've always been doing some kind of creative work. But it never felt like legitimate until I feel Rad Division, because that's when we started. Well, yeah, we started printing the shirts. We were High Point was carrying our stuff. Like, you were getting gigs. Willie was painting. It was a studio. It was a full blown studio. So that was the dopest. And then Miho was 2015, and all of this led into Desert People Productions. So span of from 2009 all the way to 2021, we haven't stopped.
Yeah.
Like there's so much you got broken into, which to me, like, that's crazy that even back then we didn't have the tools to be able to do what we do now. Just because the times weren't even there, right?
Yeah.
You were saying that you converted the VX into...
Oh, no, it's a DVX.
It was the DV. Oh, the DVX.
The
yeah,
black
not the
camera.
VX. What the hell am I talking about?
Yeah,
Was that Panasonic?
It was a Panasonic, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the technology. I mean,
How did you? So you were on it, huh? You were just trying to find ways to be able to get involved with.
Well, I mean, like, I think before, like, I had this plan. Like, I'm gonna have the skate shop.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna sell it at 23, and I'm gonna make my movie. And I was already writing scripts like out of high school.
Yeah.
I mean, like shorts and things like that. And I was trying to develop like my first feature.
Yeah.
Back then, and I was kind of closeted about it, I would say. You know what I mean?
Were you? What do you mean?
My filmmaking, because it was very like, I was very sensitive about it.
It was like it was personal to you, or you just felt like.
No, I just felt like in the city, whenever I'd bring up like wanting to make films and stuff, everybody's like eyes would roll back in their head. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you need to go to film school and all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to go to film school.
Why didn't you? Like, because what the hell were you going to EPCC and UTEP for?
Well, just to please everybody.
Oh, okay. You're like, I'm going to get my basics.
Yeah, but I did. The one thing that EPCC did have was they had like a screenwriting class, but I didn't finish it.
But you took some of it?
And I took a film class, and it was just like, it was like an elective. You have to take it no matter what, but you could take something else like geology. I don't forget what else you could take in that. But I couldn't get into the one that everybody got into, the film class. And
why?
Because it was like everyone wanted to take it. It
was always full, or what?
And he showed like all the classics, like Nosferatu and like movies like that in class. But I couldn't get in, so I ended up getting this lady, and I appreciate that because she showed us like musicals and movies.
I'm sorry, but I can't do musicals.
Yeah, I mean, I can't watch them all the time, but in class to learn about one, and then
Moulin Rouge. I like that one.
Yeah, or we watched like an old John Wayne movie, McClintock. You know,
never heard of it.
Yeah, and then like The Sting, this movie with Paul Newman and
okay, I've heard of that.
Robert Redford. Things like that at the time.
She was showing you this stuff?
Yeah, because like in the other class, it was like, oh, we're gonna watch Taxi Driver and all these like movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then she showed us all this. She showed us movies like that, so it opened my eyes to more.
Yeah.
Than just
a different palette of movies.
Yeah. So, when I was at EPCC, I did get that
something out of it,
but the other stuff, like, I hated every minute of it. It was the worst.
Well, also
for me.
That I think that drove you wanting to do more of the creative stuff, because I mean that stuff. To me, it looked like it didn't make any sense to me, all the stuff that you were buying for the camera. But now looking back at it, it's because nothing else existed.
Yeah, no, I mean it was like, do I buy?
Like it was only either like full blown film camera.
Yeah,
it's like, what are those, like $20,000 or something? I don't even know.
Yeah, see, I was born in a weird time.
Hell yeah.
Because, okay, when I look at other people, like if they're making movies in the 60s and 70s, those film cameras were more available, like 16 millimeter, and you could shoot on 8 millimeter, things like that. So you can make a movie like that up until like the 90s.
Oh, you're talking like independent-wise.
Yeah, independent-wise. In the 90s, people were shooting on camcorders, but towards the end it was like, don't shoot.
No, it wasn't. Those camcorders were for like for personal use.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like vlogging almost.
Yeah, and if people were shooting on a camcorder, people would
vlogging.
It's not like a real movie, you know?
Yeah, but that aesthetic though, that tape feel.
Now.
Well, that's
at
true.
At the time.
Fucking shitty camera.
Yeah, so and then like we're in El Paso, like we only had like Jerry Reed's.
Dang, it's still around.
But
Shut up, Jerry.
Yeah, and I love that place.
I love that place.
But they didn't have like film cameras.
No.
You know what I mean? So what am I gonna
you're right.
Order this camera, and if it doesn't work out and the film, like I'm not next to a big city.
This is when you were deciding to actually make films.
Yeah. And then that's why I was like, okay, well, I found a budget thing. I could, for like $5,000, I could probably build this camera instead of spending like $15,000.
Yeah, but your setup was different because you had your original camera was for filming for skating. No, wasn't that DVX?
No, that one wasn't. Well,
why? Okay, can I ask you a question that I don't know about? Why? What are those? What is a VX made for? Why does it have the handle?
Well, a VX is filmed for action sports.
Okay, so it was made for that.
Yeah, like when it came out, it was like marketed towards anybody that did stuff. So the handle, that's what
it was for.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
okay.
and then they made the wider angle because you need to be closer to people, and then they made that really wide one, the one that you see in all the skate videos.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh shit, it's too wide." Everyone complained about the vignetting, like the black corners.
Yeah.
People didn't like that, so then they made the second version, and nobody liked that lens. So
and that's why the VX stood out from all the other ones.
That lens, the Mark 1 stood out, and then the VX 1000. It was like, I think everyone liked the VX 1000, but I think they tried to update it because it was just like, I think it was kind of flimsy. I don't know.
No, the software. I remember something with the software. It was like the saturation or white balance or something along those lines.
They discontinued the VX 1000, and they made the 2000 and the 2100. And I didn't have enough cash to buy the 1000 because it's the same thing as today. It was still like $1,000, $1,200 on eBay, and they were kind of rare to buy. Like
mini. This is all mini DV.
Yeah, and so the 2100 was kind of like the closest thing to a 1000. So that's why I got the 2100.
And then, but that setup that you had.
Oh, so the DVX 100B.
Yeah, that one, the black one, the murked out one. That one.
So that one was aimed towards if you were gonna shoot like a filmmaking.
Okay, that's why you got it.
Yeah, because it was you could shoot 24p, 24 frames, and that's what.
Yeah.
You know, all DSLRs have. You can do 30 frames, but at the time,
it's so nutty. And then we'll go for it.
But you couldn't get like the lens attachment look, because all DSLRs.
No, it's all put out.
You add a lens to it, and that was just a standard lens in the camera. So you had to buy this. It's called a Red Rock macro.
Yeah.
And basically it was
the converter box you're talking about.
Yeah, converter box, and it would create like your own like
film.
Extension. Yeah, so you could get because everyone, what they say the film look is the depth of field, which is like when things are blurry in the background or where you could focus on one thing.
Yeah.
So that box will let you do that with the lens. And
so you were going to use that setup to actually start filming your shorts and your
and I was ready to start shooting I was going to do the same thing I did 10 years later.
Damn, dude.
And I honestly, when they stole all that stuff, I pretty much was like giving up on it. And that's why I went down that path. Yeah, you did.
Because even with skating, you kind of hit a wall. I remember you started working out a lot during that time.
Yeah, I did.
No, yeah, I do remember you were turned off completely by all that stuff. But that's,
yeah, and then also
that's
like
life shit.
My aunt died.
Yeah, I remember you went through a lot of personal stuff.
Like my dog Zeke had gotten parvo.
Tough years, man.
And they broke into the shop. It was just the worst.
You talking about Pee Wee?
No, Zeke
got parvo that year?
No, he got heartworm.
Oh my god!
And then it was just like a really bad year. Like
hashtag keep going.
So, anyways, when that happened, when they broke in, I kind of was like ready to
quit,
to ditch filmmaking,
and that's why you went into school.
I went to school, and then I was like, I can manage the shop while I go to school. But then filmmaking just kind of kept creeping up on it. And even when I went to California, I was still trying to deny I wanted to make my own stuff.
You would deny it?
Yeah, because I was gonna go and work for other people.
And
you're eventually just work in it. But then I was like, dude, I'm going to be doing this shit for like 20 years until I finally make my own thing. Because that's what ended up happening. I would talk to more and more people in Los Angeles, and they were like, yeah, man, like you just get caught up having to work here, and like unless you know this person or that. I'm not saying that you can't do it.
No, but you have to do it. You're going to have to do it on your own.
Depends on what you want to do. And me, I was like, I want to write and direct my own stuff.
Yeah.
Produce, well, if I can produce my own stuff, but that was my dream. And I was like, that's why I left. I was like,
so technically, do you think DSLR saved your life in that sense? Because once that,
yeah, no, definitely.
But you were using it. Okay, you didn't dive directly back into filmmaking. You started doing commercial shit.
Yeah, no, I would say it's like videography.
But
I would do these little skits that were kind of like me, like splashing, like getting my feet wet.
Yeah,
I was still afraid to like
commit to that
because I had scripts with dialogue and stuff.
Yeah, you did.
I just like, I would print them out and I would just
shelve them,
and I would never show anybody. Or I'd show somebody something and I'd be like real embarrassed, and I would just talk about them constantly for years.
Yeah,
A Human Dropout, I wrote that like in like 2013, 2014, and then I didn't make it till 2017.
Nah.
Yeah.
I could have sworn that we did that together for some reason, but no, we didn't.
No.
Human Dropout you're talking about?
Yeah. With the Otokos, I did.
Okay.
That one I wrote real. I wanted to.
Damn, to think that you were already doing stuff back then. Why didn't you put shit out, man? Because not Zane. There was Josh Spencer's. That's what it was. It was like a little mini short. It was like him acting like Rocky.
Well, I tried, but I was too like reliant on the skateboarding thing.
Oh yeah.
So I wasn't like.
Well, because you knew it and you knew you knew that world.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do a little skit like that. But I was like part of the EP Film had a website way back when, and I would it was like a forum. And I would submit my stuff on there. I'd upload it.
Did you really?
YouTube. Yeah, and everybody would talk about it and stuff. Like everybody would like critique each other's stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
There was like some kid from Las
feedback
Cruces that was really good at the time too, and I felt like I saw him, and it was like, I forgot his name, but he was in Las Cruces, and he was like all about filmmaking.
Yeah, but Cruces has that.
Yeah, well,
right?
I don't know why, but no, he was
good. Because the school, no, doesn't NMSU have like a really good video department?
I don't know if they've had it forever. Now they do.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they have like Reds and shit.
Yeah, that shit's sick.
I mean, they like place them in programs now.
You could use Reds out there. That's what kids are learning on now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have way better. Just El Paso.
What's cool to me is that you were using your knowledge in film with skateboarding to like, I guess, show people like, because okay, if you were to show an independent film to somebody, I don't think they'd really like understand where you're coming from back then. If you show them a skate video, it's a VHS, it's already made, you can pop it in. So like, when you were filming skating, did your mom ever think like, oh, he's gonna make movies, or did she know that you were gonna pursue this like this far, like?
No, I don't think she did. And I don't think I was.
You weren't showing signs that you were like.
No, I mean,
because
everybody else did, but knew that, but they were just kind of like, why aren't you doing it more? And like my mom, like she just thought I would tell them I was going into advertising. Just so they'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Or
you would really tell them that I'm going into advertising?
Graphic design, just to like.
Yeah. No, that's what I told them too. I told them
I'm going ITT Tech Mom.
ITT Tech. Does that place still exist?
I don't know.
I don't think so. But I mean, I guess the moral of this whole podcast is that we kept going, right? Even right now, we were exactly this amount of time in, and we weren't even recording.
Yeah.
But you're like, hey man, this stuff happens. You got to keep going, and which we have. Like, it's been for me, it's been 10 years, but it's been the best time for me because I've learned. Yeah, nobody can take away these things from me, man. And obviously, I think I'm speaking for you too, but I don't think anybody can take away the experience that we've put ourselves through.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, you do have to keep going and like figure out a way to just keep that part of yourself going. Like that creative part. If you
the dream,
what you want to do, because. And don't be so hard on yourself, because I used to compare myself a lot to other people. But then as I got older, I realized that sometimes if your situation, if you're born in a different city, if you come from this type of background, you're not going to have the leg up on other people. So you shouldn't really compare yourself to them. And everybody's timeline's different, and it's like all those looking backwards, all those things you did can kind of connect to where you're going now, and you could use those things. Because had I not had that experience with the skateboarding, I would not be like as shy to. I mean,
confident.
I wouldn't be as confident to try certain things.
Yeah.
Because when you go and skate, you didn't question. You would just go out and film.
Yeah, and not just that, but you didn't even know if you could do the trick. You were just attempting.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're just getting together with your friends, and like when you're filmmaking, well, for me, it's the same thing in a way, And then like when we were messing around with the screen printing, that is like repetition.
Yeah.
It's discipline over and over and over and over again. How many times?
Dude, how many shirts do you think we've printed?
How many times did people ask us about learning how to screen print, because it's a headache. It's fucking hard.
You're
and
right.
At first, when you're learning,
You're absolutely
you
right.
fuck everything up. The emulsion when you're coding the screen.
Yeah.
You didn't print out the artwork.
Well, to this day, you hate it.
I
Just
do,
joking.
and I do. But I don't like doing it commercially. But
No. Yeah.
It's that stuff, like all the experiences with the businesses. It's like building relationships, and like if you're gonna do something with somebody,
It's a very good point.
you gotta like learn to keep those relationships.
And even if you can't do it, because I remember we would hit some speed bumps and be like just flat out like, let me show you why we can't do it.
Yeah.
Right. This stuff is hard.
Yeah. Since we live in El Paso, we don't have. I've said this before to you that we don't have like a lot of mentors to guide us on what's the right thing to do. In the city, if you're pursuing something creative, so we had to make so many mistakes.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like we couldn't.
And I mean, the people that are doing things are pretty secretive about it, or they're not willing to share that information.
Yeah.
They're not open source. And I will tell you that Rad Division, again, that was my fear, because I kind of, it's something that I always said, but it was open source. We would say that, like, if you were under the Rad Division, roof, you were going to learn a little bit of everything, which was video, graphic design, and printing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like everyone did. Gil ended up printing some of his shirts, and he was like, fuck this, man. Like, my back hurts.
Yeah.
Willie still prints.
Yeah. Dude, Willie showed me how to paint.
Exactly.
And every time I have to paint a room in my house,
you
use
follow
the tips that
yeah,
he taught
dude.
me.
Yeah.
He uses this one brush
Yeah.
that saves time on all like the edges of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. Yeah.
It was completely open source.
That Red Division was definitely like trying to put like a solution for that problem we were encountering.
Yes.
Where we were getting at that age where like, okay, what do we do next? And nobody was helping us out. They'd be like, oh, well, they wouldn't answer our emails.
Yeah.
Or they would get real protective of what they were doing. And we're like, dude, fuck all that shit. Let's just help each other out.
But I think also we learned that because we after we left Proper, it was either we completely stop, we give up, or we figure something out.
Yeah, that's true.
And somehow give back, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because up until Rad Division, I was lost, right? Knuckle was skating. We knew that world.
Yeah.
Proper was like, it turned into a legitimate freaking business. It's still, running and operating.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. Rad Division was exactly what I feel like we want to do in life, which is, sharing our knowledge to show people like you could do it too. If we're doing it and we did it, we're no different from you. Especially in El Paso, obviously opportunity has, with, time and technology, has made that, solidified that for everybody. But when we were starting, it was like, oh no, whatever. But I'm glad that we had that. And actually I want to thank you for that, because we're still at the studio. And when you took off, you could have just shut it down. It could have just been like, whatever. But it was popping enough for you to be like, no, I'm going to go. But we still have this, this collective.
Yeah, I mean, I still try to maintain the things I learned there.
Yeah,
with the people I interact with today.
I think we met. The Rad Division was where we met most of our what would you call that? I don't even know what to call it. Business relationships. I don't know what the hell to call it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then now with the projects that we do now, I try and treat it like this person's. I recognize that, say it's like a photographer here.
Yeah.
That's with a brand. And their stuff's like coming about. I want to send people to that person's way, that way I'm not like trying to hoard
exactly
the work here. You know what I mean? Or like, because if they get better, then the city gets better.
Exactly.
And then
exactly
just everything grows.
But and also that market grows, and there's actually like options where there isn't, you know what I mean?
So yeah, no, even to this day, I mean, that's true. Like with Rad Division, like the whole idea was we're creators, and
we were like no, I'm not even gonna say that, but we were just, it was a lot of sacrifice, man. That was a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really thought about it like this
right?
a long time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But through, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It took us 5 approaches at this whole creative thing. But I feel like the Desert People Productions is all of this. Looking back at, skating hasn't gone away. Proper was a very serious endeavor as far as like, big ass orders and all stuff. So we learned a lot at Proper, which is now, part of Desert People in the sense of like the shipping, the fulfillment, the contracts, all of that stuff. Rad Division was like the community. Miho was the screen printing, really like trying to just show people that we had a different take on screen printing, because I feel like we do.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a dialed back version
of Proper.
Proper.
You're right.
It was still kind of,
yeah.
I think what Proper I was trying to avoid, like getting school contracts. And then with Miho, I was like trying to land one.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with a band.
That's true.
Complaining about 10 shirts.
Nah, dude. So we don't have the money.
With like a crazy graphic.
Oh, yeah. Some affliction shit or what?
Whatever. Like,
what's crazier is that we've been actually talking for 2 hours, guys, but we did it thanks to Mark, my co-host. I was going to give up. We're sweating right now. There's no air conditioner because it gets in the way of audio. But we're here. Desert People Productions is a thing. And, you actually met up with somebody that just opened up a new spot locally downtown. And it really pumped me up because I feel like the city's finally there in the sense of us putting out our content out. Because not a lot of places can. Well, okay, we were talking about that. Fellini's. Remember Fellini's?
Yeah.
Videos, I just don't think people understand how important video is, man, especially in this town. Like, independent work needs to be shared.
Yeah.
So pop-ups need to start happening. Maybe we'll just start doing it. Now that COVID's kind of slowing down. I got my shots. Mark has a shot. Everybody has their shots, but masks are off. I feel like we should have like an open house again, which we were doing with Rad Division.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking back at all these things, I'm so glad that we didn't stop, man. We kept going. I wrote down this paper that I watched Step Brothers, and that kind of defined me, because yeah, man, Prestige Worldwide is fucking hilarious. Like, that they're trying to do this thing, trying to prove to their parents, and look at now, do Desert People Productions, it's stupid, like, to compare. I'm not gonna compare it, right? Whatever. But the dream of it, right?
Yeah.
These 2 fucking brothers
go
through all this shit, and at the end of the movie, they're like, their parents are actually like, you know what? You need to do that. You need to follow your dream. What does the dad say? He's like, I was a little kid.
You wanted to be a dinosaur.
I want to be a dinosaur. And I know my dad wanted to be a dinosaur, dude. My dad wanted to be a photographer. He pursued all those things, but he had kids. You have to like do all these things, and you kind of leave back all these dreams.
I mean, I think that it's not just our parents. I think it's like a metaphor for like people in the city, because
Prestige for like the movie?
Well,
you're right. The message is what you're saying.
Yeah, because people often I meet here, they'll kind of just, like, my uncles or people I met that are a little bit older, they'll kind of tell me like, oh yeah, I still want to do that, or I used to, do these things, but they'll kind of have like the idea of it's too like foreign to them. They're like, I could never. I don't understand that, So when that happens, you kind of like try and, match that energy and trying to like limit yourself. Yeah. So,
well, we're here, dude.
Yeah.
We're here.
So it's true. Sometimes people can't.
We're here to push people. Yeah. If we did it, we were able to do it through all these things, skate shops, print shops, freaking people calling us Mijo left and right. Like Thunderbolt USO, you being like, no, man, you can't print that, whatever.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Don't stop. It's cool to see El Paso growing, and we're definitely going to keep, doing our thing. We want to keep thanking everybody. This is our 3rd episode. I think we're going to call it a day. We're an hour in. So thanks everybody for following us, listening to us. But the moral of this episode is keep going. Thank you for listening.